I think it emanates from the top, bro. You know, it's not something that it doesn't. I disagree that it exists in the culture. When I say these people enjoy violence, I mean this clique, you know, the clique that is running the country.
Yeah.
They enjoy violence,
right?
You know, because if you go to the people on the ground in their folklore, in their cultures, like the peace and hospitality and treating the next human being as a human being it's universal through all these. It's universal throughout humanity. So something has to happen in a society for it to become dysfunctional. In the case of South Sudan, it's years of colonial policies from the time of like the Turks.
Just a second, by the way. I'm gonna. Oh, lost my pen. No, I mean, there's a very long history there of. Do you think it's something?
It was policy. I mean, it was part of. It was the policy of the Turks and after the Turks, of the British, the Arabs, in terms of neo-colonialism. I mean, there's always destabilization of the South has been the policy of many governments. So in terms of the people, you can say that society there's a social breakdown, but it's not so bad to make people do what they're doing right now in terms of how they attack each other. This comes from the, like I said, from the top, from the elite, who are themselves detribalized. A lot of them go to Western schools, they get socialized in the West, so by all standards they are Western people. You know, but so when it comes to dividing the national pie, you know, people agitate their communities against each other. They pitch communities against communities because, like the Launwer and the Murle, like they're so far apart, like geographically. Like where do they get to meet for them to have hostilities against each other? But it is middle class people from those communities who are themselves detribalized, sitting in Juba, you know, who push the buttons and make these things happen for their own political advantages in Juba. So it is these people who enjoy the violence because those people to them are expendable. Like, they don't care. Like, they don't really care about the tribe in terms of that pride or national pride. You know, in terms of my nationality, I'm a Launwer or I'm a Murle. They don't really care about the people on the ground.
I mean, so what would it take to stop that culture of violence?
A different middle class, you know, like an indigenously evolved middle class, because the middle class in South Sudan is not in. The indigenous middle class exists and its development has been stifled by the cut and paste middle class, which is coming from the US, from Canada, from America. A lot of these people were driving taxi cabs and some of them are even homeless in Western cities. Then you bring them to Juba and all of a sudden like they are ones running the show and they have blocked the way for the normal social evolution of South Sudan. So what I would say, I don't know if the term exists, but I would say that they have made a posthumous coup on my father.
But they're still using him as a hero with the statues and they've made him into the founding.
Yeah, it's funny too because the statues they are fake statues. Like the one that they unveiled during independence was made out of cement but to look like copper, you know, and it was not even cast.
Really?
You know, so it bears testament to the nature of the very government that made it. They made a fake copper statue. Statue of Liberty became green after like many years. You don't unveil a statue and it's immediately green. You know, so it was a fake. It's fake. You know, it's like all those things are all fake, and it's a gas. Like my father is the fuel by which these people have been running. But they are not. They're actually have gone against. They've done like they've done the opposite of what he was saying or what he was trying to do.
Can you elaborate about what you mean on like what specifically are the things that you think your father would have done differently, or that this government should be doing? What are you disappointed in?
I'm disappointed in. I would say everything really, but the fact that power has been taken away from the people. There's no the democratic process, the democratization process has been set backwards many years. Opening the door for people who know nothing about the struggle to come in and make the decisions. I mean, it was I guess everything. I guess. But most importantly, taking power away from them. Every decision that was made before, including the decision to negotiate with Khartoum, it was not my father's wish to negotiate a settlement. He wanted to crush, to destroy the NIF, and create a new government in Khartoum. So negotiating with the government was out of the question. But because decisions were made through wide dialogue, with the communities. So that wide dialogue with the communities has come to a halt. There used to be bodies which were representative bodies of the movement, which has now become the party. But the movement had representative bodies that used to, engage in dialogue, and then the final decision would be made by the Politburo, but it would first be discussed at lower levels of the party. So that process does not exist anymore. All the decisions are made by the political bureau, and they're made by the political bureau through intimidation, and so that's a big problem. The National Secretariat is run by foreigners, basically people who hold Canadian and American passports. So, the destruction of the movement.
Do you think there was a move right after your father's death to push people out who were close to your father and wanted to finish his vision?
I would like to move it. I want to move it away from my father's vision, more so to doing what is right for the soil.
Okay.
Because what my father was doing was what was right for the soil, and he paid the ultimate sacrifice for the soil. So when it is worded as my father's vision, it kind of like takes away, it's what has made even some people misunderstand the whole thing, that was John Garang's thing. No, it wasn't. It was a people's movement. So I would say that anybody who shares ideas, that my father shared, because they were not his ideas, like they were there before he was born, and they shall be there after they're still here, and we're still talking about them. So anybody who is for the development of the people of South Sudan, these people are against. So that's basically how I would put it. So not people who are loyal to my father. Even if you were not loyal to my father, and you are for the development of the people of South Sudan, then they will not do it.
As far as governance go, how do you think they've done governing the country in terms of handling the money and doing development?
I don't know. It's obvious, I mean, if you just look at South Sudan, it's obvious. I mean, I don't have an inside knowledge of how much money South Sudan was given. In fact, I even think that the reports of the 4 billion are modest reports because of the embarrassment. So that by the time it is admitted that it's 4 billion, it must be much more than that. And I would not put it all on one person. Like I said before, the reason that we blame the president is because he's that figure. that the blame will go to. But of course, it wasn't the president who stole everything, but it has been done under his watch, by all these people, and he has not punished them. So there's South Sudan is hemorrhaging money. It's not an economy. If you're hemorrhaging money like that, then you don't have an economy. Ministers do the carpets for their own office and the curtains for their own office. Every time a new one comes in, every time there's a reshuffle, they do their own letterheads, they do their own business cards from their office. They're travel agents. There's no frequent flyer mile kind of program where government has their own travel agent. So it is. I can say we've never had a country before, and you can say that it is from not having been a country before. But there's many countries, even within the region, Uganda, Kenya, that could have been called into. So I think it's a sad case. The looting, because really that's what it is. It's like looting. Also, something that I observed, there was no control. It was in the beginning. There was a time when there was what you would call pirates who came into South Sudan. These are people who go from post-conflict economy to post-conflict economy. They do their content, So I would be in the bank and see people go with transfer dollars out of the country, like the flight of hard currency. By the time they got to know and to stop it, it was too late. And now the president has to explain. And some of the people under him who have been very clever in how to steal the money, their names won't even come up. And of course, everything will go. All the blame will go on him.
Do you think these corruption letters, or do you think the president's trying to actually put a hold on this, or no?
I think it's too late. I think he's doing too little, too late. Doing too little, too late.
Yeah.
He's somebody. I think he's been struggling. He's had a struggle within him, the two, the bad one and the good one, over the shoulder, they show in the cartoons, and he's been struggling, with the demon and the angel. I think he fears for his life.
The president.
Yeah, I think he fears for his life. He's somebody who I've known from when I was a boy, from when I was a child. So I don't oppose him as an individual or as a human being, but I think he has lost the way, maybe because of fearing for his life.
So
once upon a time he knew what was supposed to be done.
So what needs to happen then?
It's a tricky question. It's a tricky question because we need change, in South Sudan, but we have to also be careful of how that change comes, because at the end of the day we're advocating for the democratization of South Sudan. So maybe we can. There's going to be an election coming up sometime soon, and if we get to that point before anything happens, then we will see what the people of South Sudan will decide. They would have seen the mismanagement for the 6-7 years, and up until the election time. If they put the same leaders into power again, then they deserve the leaders that they get. Because for me personally, I can't really complain too much. I own a restaurant, I own businesses in South Sudan. I'm comfortable. I'm not really I'm not a beneficiary like others, but I cannot complain either. I sleep comfortably at night. I watch TV. I have 2 cars. I can't be the one on the forefront in South Sudan saying that things are bad. We need change. You've been in Juba. You've seen the people in Budele. You've seen the people in Tongping, in Lulogo, in Konyo, in the suburbs of Juba, how they are suffering. And outside the suburbs of Juba, not even very far, outside Juba, even outside Parliament, the slums that are out there, how the people suffer. Some of them when it rains, your house gets swept. You know, no, they sleep at night, no food. They have no medical services. I can get airlifted out of Juba if I get sick. I just get food poisoning. The next day I'm out of Juba to come and check what's happening in Nairobi.
Right.
So those people who are suffering, if they are not, if they are not on the forefront saying, "Oh, things are bad," then who am I, to say things are bad, But of course, I want change because I can see it. Part of the fact that I can see it is